Alright. Are you ready to get this show on the road,
Yeah.
per se?
Yeah.
Alright. Let me take a little drinky drink here and then...
Okay, I'm gonna do the same. Okay.
Drinking a ghost.
Oh, I'm drinking a zero sugar monster.
Hey, look at you.
Hey, look at us drinking caffeine at 10 o'clock at night. Wild.
Alright. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Break Room Podcast. I'm your host, Derek, with the other host, Trey. Say hi, Trey.
Hi, Trey.
Yes, we're back at it again with episode 25, Trey. Almost a half a year into the podcast. How do you feel about that?
So I was actually going through our episode list on YouTube a few hours ago, and I would have thought it would have taken me a lot longer to scroll from bottom to top, but it didn't. It was one foul swoop. Swipe,
Yeah,
swipe, if you will.
Once a week, 25 weeks this week.
Yeah.
That's only 25 videos.
Yeah. I know.
Just saying, you thought it would have took longer.
I thought I would have. I don't know why.
All right, but we have a interesting episode for you guys today. But before we get into that, I wanted to tell Trey about what happened to me at work today, and I figured everyone here would also like to hear it, so I waited for the podcast to start. Do you want to hear what happened to me at work today, Trey?
Yeah.
Okay, so I worked 11 hours today. It was very, very boring and draining. However, there was two instances where it made it worth it today. We're going to start with the first one, which was a wholesome moment. The second one was a very funny moment. We're going to start with the wholesome one. So,
Okay.
I'm standing in the food truck, and we sell our rubs now. The rubs that we put on our meat, we package them, and now we sell them as
Right.
like a 7-ounce bag. And so, we were at the state drama competition today. Do you know what that is?
Sounds like it's where a bunch of schools compete in their drama classes, like acting. Like
You are
thespians.
exactly right. That is crazy. So today was the state finals. And so a bunch of schools, obviously from all over the state, came and they were putting on their show. They had 40 minutes to present. They had 10 minutes to put up their set. No. I don't know if you guys compete in it or not.
Oh, okay. Anyways.
Because you have to have... I didn't know that this was even a thing, so I asked a woman, like, how do you qualify to do state for drama? And essentially you have to have a department where they have a mobile set that you can go around to different places in the state and set up your play. And
Oh, yeah, my school didn't have that then, so yeah.
Yeah, mine didn't either.
Okay.
The closest town for me that does it is the town next to me that you know.
Right.
It's big. Anyways, so this girl came up to the truck window with 3 other girls, and they were deciding on the menu what to get or whatnot. And you could tell that she was very introverted. She talked very quietly, like an alt girl, wearing black pants, Converse, and they were all wearing shirts of what play they were doing or where they were from,
Oh, okay.
and
all right.
dyed hair,
Cool.
piercings, shit like that. You could tell that not very outgoing.
Okay.
And so she's like whisper talking to her friends, and they're trying to figure out what they're gonna eat. And she stumbles upon the picture of all the rubs that we have for sale.
Oh boy.
And she
Okay.
says in a really quiet voice, she leans over to her friend and says, I think I'm gonna get the steak one for my dad, because I know he loves making steak and prime rib, and I think it would make him really happy.
How
so
old?
I had my
How old are these girls?
high schoolers, so
Oh,
like
okay.
probably juniors or seniors.
Oh, okay.
And so I had my back turned to them because I was making sure the meat was warm and stuff because we just got there.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking to myself, that was the most heartwarming thing I've ever heard in my life.
What?
That someone would... She's at a state competition to see if they could win state for acting. And the one thing that she cared about in that moment was making her dad happy by bringing home steak rub.
Hope my daughter's
is
like that.
I know, that's like the cutest thing in the world, right? So she walks up to the window, and she's like, yeah, I'm actually not really that hungry, but could I... And it's called Moo Moo Rub. She's like, can I
Oh, yeah,
get
Moo
that
Moo
bag
Rub.
of Moo Moo Rub? I said, yeah, sure, no problem. And like my heart is bursting at the seams of happiness because like, oh my god, this is so cute. And she looks at me and she says, "This is gonna make my dad so happy. He loves grilling steak for all of us." And I went, "That's so sweet." That was so nice. It warmed my heart up that day or today because I was very upset that I had to work 11 hours a day.
Yeah.
So the day keeps going on. About 4 hours later, this dude that kind of looks like me, and I'm gonna guess it was either his girlfriend or his sister. I couldn't tell.
Okay.
Because they were just like really, friendly with each other. And another dude that they were friends with, so a group of 3 walked up. And he's like, "Hey man, can I get 2 pulled pork sandwiches and a brisket?" I said, "Yeah, it's gonna be $31." He said, "Alright, sweet." He looks into his wallet, and he's looking at all of his money. He's like, "How much?" I said, 31. He's looking, fuck. He looks up, and I can't remember what his teacher's name was, but he looked up and said, "Hey, Mr. Blank, can I borrow, like, money?" He says, "How much money you need?" He's like the next truck over. And they're sort of screaming back and forth at each other. He's like, "I don't know, $5, $6. He's like, "Oh, no problem." He's like, "Oh, wait, maybe $10? He said, "No way you're getting $10 out of me." Kid says, no, not actually 10, like around 10. I said, "How much do you actually have?" He's like, "All right, hold on." So him and that girl were sitting counting. They went, 25, 26.
Wait, what? What girl?
The girl that he was standing in line with.
Oh, okay.
So
he's counting out his money out loud.
Yeah, so he gets to, and 30. I said, "Dude, I'll just take the 30. You don't have to get you don't have to steal a dollar from your teacher." He's like,
around
"Oh, man,
$10. What the? What was
because
he
he
on?
didn't actually count it. He was just looking at what he had.
He was guesstimating. Okay.
Yes, and then he actually counted. So I make him his food or whatnot, right? And he hands me the $30.
$30.
He hands me the $30. I'm like, "Yeah, man, cool. Have a good day." And we're all laughing at each other because I'm like, "Dude, you remind me of me so much because that's what I used to do when I didn't have enough money." And so his friend walks up to the window after they go and put sauce on their sandwiches.
Yeah.
He says, "All right, man, all I need is a hot dog." I said, "All right, cool. It's $4. Hands me a 5 and says, "I don't need to change. Make that shit even with my friends over there." I said,
What?
"I got you, dude. Don't worry."
Make that shit even. Oh, the $30?
Yeah, so it's the extra dollar because it was only a $4 hot dog.
Yeah.
He's like, "Here, just leave it in there. It's for them." I said, "No problem, man. Cool." And so I asked him where he's from, and he told me. And I said, "Hey, I just want to let you know my day's been boring as hell, and you guys just made my day." Because I was cracking up with these guys. He's like, "Fuck, we only have $30. What are we gonna do?" I'm like, "It's fine. Calm down." They're like freaking out that they didn't have enough money to pay me.
Around $10? And I just imagine like the faded away kind of like, "Ain't no way you getting $10 from me."
It's exactly how it went too. So, to those 3 individuals, if you ever stumble across this, hello, you made my day today. And I told your friend that, so I hope he told you other 2. So anyways, that's my story from today. Did anything interesting happen at your work today, Trey?
No.
Oh, okay.
Just gross weather.
I know. Okay, so that's why I was mad, everyone, is because we got 7 inches of snow today. And,
For no reason. I have a few words with that groundhog.
And where I was going with the truck, no snow. Not one drop of snow.
But then where Emily was and where I was, we were getting hammered.
Yeah. And then when I woke up this morning to go to work, we were getting hammered. It was up to my shins.
Jesus.
For no reason in March. After being 70 degrees out the other day. So anyways, Trey brought a topic to the episode today. Would you like to tell the people what it is?
Today we are going to be discussing the cold case file. I hope I'm not butchering this name. Jean-Benet Ramsey.
I think you said it better than half the news companies.
It sounds French, so I'm going to go ahead and say it with...
I'm pretty sure it is French.
Oh, okay.
Would you like to give a brief summary of what it... You don't have to give like details or anything because we're going to get into that. Would you like to give a brief summary of who Jean-Benet Ramsey was and what happened to her?
Oh, yeah. Give me a second.
Oh, okay. He's got to pull up his document now. He's like Derek.
Well, I had a Florida man thing pulled up for us.
Oh, you have a Florida man thing too?
I do.
Hey, did you ever... Speaking of which, podcast lore, inside jokes. Did you ever find an update on that dude that?
Fuck, I forgot his name. Hang on.
Walter. I think his name was Walter.
Yeah. Walter, Katana, Florida. Oh my god, I found it.
Did they ever
Walter
catch him?
Grimes. No,
Walter
they've never
Grimes.
caught him.
Walter Grimes is still on the run. Oh my god.
What is going on in Florida?
They never caught Walter Grimes. Holy shit. Anyways, so would you like to tell them about the case of Jean-Benet Ramsey?
Do you want me to do the Florida man thing after?
If we have time for it. It depends on how long the Jean-Benet thing goes for, because I know we wanted to talk about that.
Okay, hang on.
Okay. I'm hanging on.
Before I start with that, I have a joke for us.
Don't joke after we just talked about a cold case.
No, it hasn't. Okay, two completely unrelated things.
Okay.
A man is talking with his therapist. Therapist says, "It seems you have a severe phobia of marriage. Do you understand the symptoms?" The man says, "Can't say I do."
Fuck. I didn't think that was actually gonna make me laugh. God damn it. You got another one you said?
No, that was the joke.
Oh, okay. Let me hit him. Let me hit him with a dun-ch. All right.
The fuck. Yes, okay. Again, podcast inside jokes. I sent you that link to that SpongeBob rim shot sound the other day because that is one of the best ones ever. Hurry up, Slowpoke! We're going fly fishing. Ba-doom. She just points. She points at the plane, and there's just some high school dude that pops up on the screen and looks at the camera and goes, "Ba-doom."
That's honestly one of the best episodes of SpongeBob.
That is one. That is, and then one of the other best ones was on last night, which is the butterfly. But for the face of the butterfly, they use a fucking fly, like a horse fly.
Oh yeah, after the caterpillar morphs into a butterfly and no one knows what it is.
They ain't wormy.
Yeah.
Lands on their helmet. Bzzz. Ah!
It's a great episode. But no, that Sandy and SpongeBob episode's so great to me is because fucking Pantera's in it.
Who?
Pantera? The band? You know who Pantera is, don't worry.
Is that who plays that like adrenaline junkie music when they're doing all that stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, so let's get back to the topic of Jean-Benet Ramsey. Hit me with it.
Okay.
Or hit the people with it, not me. I know about it.
So from my summary, this isn't from the document. This is just my.
Like I said, don't give details because this is a broad summary before we go into it.
Yeah. I can't remember the age. I should remember the age.
I want to say she was 10, maybe 8.
Somewhere.
Am I gonna have to look it up for you?
Yeah. So I don't know why out of all the stuff I wrote down and have out, there wasn't an age. Oh, found it. Okay. All right. Even less than that. Yeah, 6. And it happened, and this is more of a recent cold case, I would say. Obviously there's been some, this is almost 2 decades ago. Oh, well, it is 2 decades ago.
Brother, it's almost 30 years.
Yeah. So, basically, a 6-year-old girl was, missing for a long time at her home in her town of Boulder, Colorado, in her home. Family, no one could find her.
Was she missing for that long?
I don't know if it actually had a time frame how long she was missing.
I thought it was only a day.
But the way I have this typed out, it's kind of like what you did with Waco. It sounds like a chapter book.
Oh, dude, she was only missing for 7 hours.
Okay, so either way, though, for parents missing a 6-year-old for 7 hours, they had no clue where she was.
Yeah.
So, are you ready?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm always ready.
I have 2 different versions of them, two different versions of the story. Both just kind of have their words changed around, but if
Okay.
one's longer than the other, would you prefer the short version or the long version?
We'll do the short version now, and then we'll finish with the long version.
Okay. Shadows of Innocence. The story of Jean-Benet Ramsey.
Look at this guy.
In the quiet, snow-laden streets of Boulder, Colorado, whispers of an unsolved mystery lingered like ghosts in the night. The name Jean-Benet Ramsey echoed throughout the years. A haunting melody of innocence lost. Detective Adam Hayes sit in his dimly lit office, surrounded by walls adorned with photographs and evidence from the case that had consumed him for years.
Who wrote this? Edgar Allan Poe?
No. Me.
Okay,
I just gathered a bunch of stuff and combined. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It began on a frostbitten morning in December 1996 when the lifeless body of 6-year-old Jean-Benet Ramsey was discovered. I'm just going to start saying Ramsey. 6-year-old Ramsey was discovered in the basement of her family's home. The scene was a chilling tableau of confusion and despair. Her parents, John and Patsy Ramsey, stood under the harsh glare of suspicion, their grief-stricken faces scrutinized by the world.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So.
Oh yeah, don't be afraid to jump in anytime, please, because then we'll speed through this if you don't say anything.
Well, right now there's nothing to say.
I know, I get
what
it.
just happened.
Yes.
So continue.
I was taking a sip. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. As Detective Hayes sifted throughout the mountain of evidence, he felt the weight of the case bearing down on him like an avalanche. The ransom note, the garrote around Ramsey's neck, the fragmented fragment... Okay. What is this? The fragmented fragments of a shattered family's shattered dreams. They all whispered secrets that remained tantalizingly out of reach. I almost could not say that. Years turned into decades, and still the truth remained elusive. Suspects came and went, each leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions and shattered hopes. Was it an intruder, a family member, or someone else entirely? The shadows of doubt danced in corners of Detective Hayes' mind, taunting him with their inscrutable silence. But despite the passage of time, Detective Hayes refused to surrender to despair. He combed through old leads with the tenacity of a bloodhound on the scent, determined to unearth the truth buried behind layers of deception and deceit.
So hold on. So it was just one detective.
There was multiple, but there's all sorts of what's anecdotes from different detectives.
Oh, gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
and in the you'll notice when I read the long one, it's a completely other detective. I think there's two in that one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then, one fateful day, a glimmer of hope pierced through the darkness. A witness came forward with a fragment of a memory, a shard of truth that had lain in dormant for years. With renewed vigor, Detective Hayes pursued the lead, following it down a twisting path fraught with danger and deception. As he drew closer to the truth, the tension in Boulder reached a fever pitch. Whispers grew louder, rumors swirled like snowflakes in a blizzard, and the eyes of the world once again turned to the small town gripped by tragedy. In the end, it was not a single breakthrough that cracked the case wide open, but a convergence of small victories and hard-won truths. The pieces of puzzle fell into place, revealing a picture that was both horrifying and heartbreaking in its clarity.
Why is Boulder, Colorado called a small town? It's 108,000 people.
It's like it's probably about as big as south of me, the town that's south of me.
I will confirm that. Hold on. Keep reading.
Where was I? Oh, and as Detective
It
Hayes
is actually almost the it is almost the exact same number.
Huh. Like the population?
Yes.
Is that of the? They're just. Oh, okay. I'm not worried about saying that city because it's a big city.
Mm-hmm.
In the end, oh shit. As Detective Hayes stood before the press, announcing the resolution of Ramsey's case, he felt a sense of bittersweet closure wash over him. The shadows of innocence lost would never fully fade, but in the harsh light of truth, justice had finally been served. As far as I know, this is still a cold case. They just discovered everything that happened.
Yeah, so from what I remember, because this case is something of an anomaly for me, because I remember watching a documentary on it. I believe it was on HLN or some one of those crime news networks. I think it was the 15th anniversary of this happening, so it would have been 2011 or so. They broke down all of the evidence and what had happened that day, and I, being the 11-year-old at the time,
Okay, I just looked it up
so
too. No,
lost.
the case has never been solved.
Yeah, no, the case has never been solved, and it's never made sense to me how it's never been solved. Do you, before I go into what I want to say, do you have like some of the evidence that was about it, or some of the timestamps or anything?
So, no, not really. Like you said, everything was pretty much discovered within a 7-hour time frame. Other than obviously the detectives doing their detective thing, but shoot, what was I gonna say? There was evidence, obviously, that she was bound, gagged, and
Yes.
Yeah.
So, from just a very bland beginning to end, as far as I remember it, I could be wrong. This is the facts that I know. So, JonBenet went to bed on Christmas Eve, and on Christmas morning, John and Patsy, her parents, woke up to a ransom note on the counter saying that they had JonBenet and they needed to pay so much.
That's the
amount of
thing
money.
I had. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but yesterday, when we were talking about having deja vu, we've talked about this with someone. I either talked to you about it, or I talked to Morgan about it, or we watched something that had to do with this, and it was that specific detail right there. Was that this girl was supposedly lost, quote unquote, or not lost, kidnapped, and the ransom was saying, "I have your daughter. Pay this amount here, and you'll have her back." But the entire time, she wasn't gone. She was in the basement.
Yes. So, okay, so I found the amount. They found a 2.5-page handwritten ransom note on the kitchen staircase at the Ramsey family Boulder residence. The note demanded $118,000.
That's a really specific amount.
JonBenet. Yeah, I don't remember if there was like not a conspiracy, but a coincidence between that amount of money and the Ramsey family had problems with money. I don't remember exactly. It's just a really random amount.
Yeah, exactly.
However, so they found the note. As far as I know, they called the police. And then the police ran through the house, searching and searching and searching. They couldn't find her. And then, if I remember right, one detective or police officer, or it might have even been her dad, I can't remember. They were like, "Oh, there's one room left that we haven't checked, and it's a utility closet in the basement." And they opened it up, and they found her in the back of it. And then after that,
Wait, repeat that again.
what?
She was found where? Tied to what?
In the back of a utility closet, tied up.
In the basement, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was suspicious. If I remember, it was suspicious because her dad. It was either her dad or a police officer with her dad had been like, "Oh, there's one place we still haven't looked," and it was coincidentally the place where she was. You know.
Okay, so I get what you're saying. Now, here's the. I'm not saying you're saying any accusations. What do you think it was? Someone in her family?
Yes.
Okay. What do you think it was? Her dad?
Yes.
Okay.
Now this is
opinion,
people.
opinion,
and I can't say jokes because I can't joke about a dead girl. This is just my allegations. Okay, so to continue with the ransom note, this is what I was thinking of, and I found it now. John pointed out to the police first on the scene that the amount was nearly identical to his Christmas bonus of the prior year. Was suggested that someone who would have accessed that information would be involved in the crime. And
so now
they ended up looking into that, and they couldn't find anyone that would have known about his Christmas bonus.
I see where you're getting into this now. Okay, so yeah, like it's almost like he wanted money more than he wanted his daughter. So like,
yeah, because you know what JonBenet did, right?
No.
If I remember it, she was a pageant girl. Yeah, she was.
Yes, yep.
I have that
in the second story. She was a winning often attended beauty pageants, and she was good at them. Yes.
And I was also right. Her father found the girl's body in the basement of her house.
Yes. Yep.
Yes.
Wait, what? Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know if I had
She
that
has sustained a broken skull from a blow to the head and had been strangled. A garrote, I don't know how to pronounce that, was found tied around her neck.
Yeah, that's what I said earlier. A groat or a garrot. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm just reiterating for everyone. Plus, just like the steps as to what had happened. Now, if I remember right, another thing that I just fucking elbowed my computer.
Bonk.
Another thing, if I remember right, was one of the biggest things that the detectives looked at was the ransom note. Obviously, because it's they believe someone else had written it besides her parents, right? But it turns out, if I remember, when they did a handwriting analysis on the parents, the note almost identically matched the father's handwriting. But it was just off enough to where they were like, okay, it might not be him.
Yeah, so what I was going to say, too, adding on to when you said he'd like money over his daughter's life, I'm assuming with how their reaction was in that home, how the parents' reactions were, the police were convinced it couldn't have been them.
Yeah.
Because, like, usually whenever it's a parent who killed their son or daughter, the one parent's either really devastated, and then one parent just kind of doesn't care and is just there to help.
Yeah.
Look for the body, I guess. But once they do, they're like, oh, cool. Well, this is over then.
Yeah. So, the note, the ransom note appeared to have dialogue that kind of resembled movies of Ruthless People, Ransom, Escape from New York, Speed, and Dirty Harry. That's because it was apparently unusually long. The ransom note was very long, 2.5 pages. And it was found on the kitchen staircase, yada 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 yada. Gross bonus. They always considered the possibility that the ransom demanded was a reference to Psalm 118 and spoke to religious sources to determine possible relevance. Now let's read Psalm 118 together, shall we? Oh, give why does we just talked about Waco last week, and now I'm reading another fucking passage out of the God damn it. Oh, give thanks unto the Lord, for he is good, because his mercy endureth forever. What the fuck does that have to do with a goddamn ransom note? Okay. Anyways. So, I'm sorry, it wasn't John. They thought it was Patsy who wrote the note. A federal court ruled highly unlikely that Patsy wrote the note, however. Cited 6 certified handwriting experts. However, the whole point was that they really thought that her handwriting was the same as the note. Would you like me to read the ransom note?
Sure.
Mr. Ramsey, listen carefully. We are a group of individuals that represent a small foreign faction. We do respect your business, but not the country that it serves. At this time, we have your daughter in our possession. She is safe and unharmed. And if you want to see her, I'm sorry. This is really weird. She is safe and unharmed. And if you want to see her in 1997, you must follow our instructions to the letter. You will withdraw $118,000 from your account. $100,000 will be in $100 bills, and the remaining $18,000 in $20 bills. Make sure that you bring an adequate size. What the fuck is this? Attach to the bank? I don't know what that is. ATTACHE? You know what that is?
I'm assuming he's talking about like a bag apparatus or something to carry the money in.
Well, I'm gonna get like a briefcase. Oh, it's a fucking briefcase. Jesus Christ, just fucking write briefcase. You snotty fuck.
Snobby fuck.
When you get home, you will put the money in a brown paper bag. I will call you between 8 and 10 a.m. tomorrow to instruct you on delivery. The delivery will be exhausting, so I advise you to be rested.
What the hell?
If we monitor you getting the money early, we might call you early to arrange an earlier delivery of the money, and hence a earlier delivery pickup of your daughter. Any devastation of, any deviation of my instructions. Oh, by the way, for everyone on the podcast and Trey, I'm pretty sure I have dyslexia. Have you ever noticed it when I read? I fuck up certain words because they have certain letters in them. Let's figure that out together, shall we? As I read this note, any deviation of my instructions will result in an immediate execution of your daughter. Jesus Christ. You will also be denied her remains for proper burial. The two gentlemen watching over your daughter do not particularly like you, so I advise you not to provoke them. Speaking to anyone about your situation, such as police, FBI, etc., will result in your daughter being beheaded. Fuck.
Jesus Christ.
If we catch you talking to a stray dog, she dies.
What?
If you alert bank authorities, she dies. If the money is in any way marked or tampered with, she dies. You will be scared. Okay, I think this is why they started to be like, who wrote this fucking note? Because I don't know if you know this, rules of like script writing or storytelling and shit. Everything has, well, I'm sure you do because you play video games. Everything has to happen in a rule of 3 to make it sound nice, right?
So we've even discussed that in photography, right? Like, you remember that? Yeah.
So everything has to happen in rules of 3. Like, even like if you're playing video games, a boss fight, it takes 3 attempts to kill it, stuff like that. It wraps it around very nicely. Okay. So when you read this, it says, she dies, and then the third time she dies.
All of these. I thought. Yeah. Okay. I thought
you're fine.
I thought you were gonna say there's one more like she dies example, and you're gonna be like, okay, so now it's starting to get a little out of hand. Like, this guy can't do anything wrong, otherwise his fucking daughter dies.
There is. Hold on, I'll read it to you. You will be scanned for electronic devices, and if any are found, she dies. So,
is this a picture of the note, or is it typed out?
This is typed out, but there is a picture of the note that I have.
Is there a picture?
I can find it for you.
I got it.
You can try to deceive us, but be warned that we are familiar with law enforcement countermeasures and tactics. You stand a 99% chance of killing your daughter if you try to outsmart us. Follow our instructions, and you stand a 100% chance of getting her back. You and your family are under constant scrutiny as well as the authorities. Don't try to grow a brain, John.
So that's why it took 7 hours.
What?
There's one thing they left out of this entire story that you and me are both reading out of.
What's up?
There was a broken window in the basement.
Yes. I do remember. I don't remember. I did not remember that until you just said something. But hold on, let me finish the note.
Her body was found in the wine cellar. Huh.
Don't try to grow a brain, John. You are not the only fat cat around, so don't think that killing will be difficult. Don't underestimate us, John. Use that good southern common sense of yours. It is up to you now, John.
Their house is fucking massive.
Victory. SBTC is how it was signed.
And that is such a damn that girl is beautiful.
Yeah, well, there's a reason she was a beauty pageant star.
Yeah, I see it now. I never actually looked up pictures of her until now.
Yeah.
What was I gonna look up? Oh, the note. Oh, yeah.
Well, I just read it to you.
No, I wanted to see the picture of it.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, there's a picture of it.
Yeah, so this is also what's weird about the Ramsey case. John made arrangements to pay the ransom. A forensics team was dispatched to the house. The team initially believed that the child had been kidnapped, and John Benet's bedroom was the only room in the house that was cornered off to prevent contamination of evidence. No precautions were taken to prevent contamination of evidence in the rest of the house. That is what gets me every time.
What?
I read about the story. Is that, okay, the child's been kidnapped. Let's corner off her room.
Don't go in her room.
Yeah, we're gonna tape it off so no evidence gets displaced or anything. But they're like, but you've seen how big the house is.
Yeah, it's like a mansion.
There could be so much evidence in that house, and the investigators are just like, nah, it's just a room. And then 7 hours later, like, whoa, there's a broken basement in the window, or there's a broken window in the basement.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Wow. What was that attempt?
Yeah. Derek's dyslexic when he talks too.
I don't know what that was. That was crazy to hear out loud.
At 1 p.m. Mountain Time, Detective Arndt, A-R-N-D-T, Arndt, asked John Ramsey and Fleet White, a family friend, to search the house to see if anything seemed amiss. See, why didn't they do that? That's their job.
Yeah.
They said, hey, father of missing girl and family friend, go do our job for us. They started their search in the basement. That's kind of suspicious, is it not?
Yeah.
That when the police say, hey, John, you should go search for any clues about your daughter. He says, okay, I'll start in the basement. Oh, I found her. John opened a latch door, which Officer French had overlooked, and found
Oh,
her,
Jesus. What do you mean overlooked?
That's what it says. And found his daughter's body in one of the rooms. John Benet's mouth was covered in duct tape, and a nylon cord was found around her wrists.
Yikes.
Her torso was covered by a white blanket. John picked up the child's body and took it upstairs. When John Benet was moved, the crime scene was further contaminated. The critical forensic evidence was disturbed for the returning forensics team. Why did they let John pick his daughter up and bring her upstairs? Who said that was a good idea? And why did John feel the need to bring his daughter upstairs? He should have said, hey, I found my daughter. You should come look at this. Instead of saying, oh,
I found her. Like, they walk upstairs with her.
Yeah. Like he found a fucking golden egg.
Do you want to hear this long version?
In a second, I'm still reading.
Okay. It has slightly more detailed stuff. This one sounds better, in my opinion. The long one.
Okay. Hold on. I wanna read why I think it's them. Okay. I just gotta find it.
Okay.
In case over to.
Are you just looking this up on the fly?
Yeah.
Oh, good job.
Family member theory, intruder theory. Okay, so this is the intruder theory, and it makes no sense to me. This is actually the second theory. The police and the prosecutors followed leads for intruders partly due to the unidentified boot mark left in the basement room where John Benet's body was found. Early persons of interest included neighbor Bill McReynolds, who played Santa Claus.
Okay.
I'm gonna guess for either the
I heard
family
about
or for the time.
I heard about that theory too.
Yeah. Chris Wolf, a local reporter whose then girlfriend reported him as a suspect, family housekeeper Linda Hoffman Pooh, and a man named Michael Halegoff, who died in an apparent suicide shortly after John Benet's death. Hundreds of DNA tests were performed to find a match to the DNA recovered during her autopsy. In 2003, defamation lawsuit related to the case Wolf v. Ramsey, involving the Ramseys' publicity identifying an early suspect in the case. There is virtually no evidence to support Wolf's theory that the Ramseys murdered their child, and abundant evidence to support the Ramseys' belief that an intruder entered the home at some point during the night of Christmas 1996 and killed their daughter. However, I still believe, allegedly, that the Ramseys killed John Benet. I believe that John and Patsy did not want to care for their daughter anymore, especially because of her pageantry, because they were already rich people and didn't want to deal with it. And so they wrote this fake letter, allegedly, and killed their daughter and blamed it on other people, allegedly. That's what I believe. And you know what's funny about that? A lot of other people believe that too. Continue, Trey, with what you were going to read.
Jesus. You okay?
Yeah, Okay, I haven't talked about the John Benet Ramsey case in a long time with anyone. And whenever I do, I get really mad because of the fact that there is no conclusion to it.
No closure,
yeah, when there's so much evidence pointing to two particular people.
The only people that were home at the time with her.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they have a son, I think, but, like, no one ever talks about him.
You don't hear about him, yeah.
No. All right, continue with what you're gonna read.
And so, like I said, this one's going to sound a lot similar, but there's just better information.
Okay.
In the quiet hours of December night in 1996, Boulder, Colorado.
Okay, we don't need all this again.
Patsy Ramsey's. Oh my God,
Patsy
Ramsey's scream cut through the darkness, echoing off the walls of the spacious house. Frantic with fear, she stumbled upon a chilling scene in the early hours of December 26th. Her daughter, Jean-Bonnet, a 6-year-old beauty queen, was missing. Ramsey family had been thrust into the heart of a nightmare, yada yada yada. The initial search for her turned the home into a frenzy of activity, with family, friends, and law enforcement scouring every inch for clues. It was John Ramsey who made the harrowing discovery. Descending into the basement, his heart pounding with dread, he stumbled upon his daughter's lifeless body. She lay sprawled on the cold floor, her golden curls matted with blood, and like you said, a garrote tightened around her neck, delicate neck. Mm. I don't like that details in there.
I mean, she's 6. I get why it's in there, but ugh.
The scene was a tableau of horror, twisted riddle that defied explanation. Who could have committed such a heinous act against an innocent child, and why? Oh, okay. So this. Suspicion fell upon the Ramseys themselves, their affluent lifestyle and glamorous public image casting shadows of doubt over their grief-stricken faces.
Yeah.
But as the investigation unfolded, here we go, tickets to the downfall, it revealed a tangled web of secrets and lies.
I was about to take a drink, asshole. Fuck you.
Oh, did you laugh?
Mm-hmm.
When I said tickets to the downfall. It revealed... Oh, what the hell? My hair's all fucked up. Okay. It revealed a tangled web of secrets and lies that extended far beyond the Ramsey family. Red herrings led detectives down the... haven't heard that term in a long time. Led detectives down the countless dead-end paths.
Oh, they're going to sit down the rabbit hole, and I was going to laugh again.
Well, the truth remained tantalizingly out of reach. Oh, there's that word again. Months turned into years, and still the case remains unsolved. Suspects came and went, each leaving behind a trail of shattered hopes, unanswered questions. Ransom note found in the Ramsey home. Its cryptic message taunting investigators with its enigmatic clues became a focal point. Detective Tom Harding, a seasoned investigator with a haunted past of his own, refused to let the case go cold. Unfortunately, if you guys don't know already, it went cold.
No shit.
He delved into that's what
title
we're here
of the
for.
episode.
That's what we're here for. Roll credits. He delved into the darkest corners of Boulder's underbelly, chasing leads and confronting suspects with relentless determination. But as the years stretched on, hope began to fade. Ramsey case became cold, a haunting specter, its shadow looming over the city like a ghost from the past. Then, in 2016, on the 20th anniversary of her murder, a glimmer of hope emerged. New DNA evidence surfaced, pointing to it. Hang on a second.
What?
How in 20 years, the 20th anniversary, how was there new evidence that was found?
Well,
what evidence?
Okay, so what happens in cold cases, right, is evidence just gets locked away until, like, for instance, in...
Does it just land on someone's desk once again?
Well, what happens is some detectives who work on, obviously detective work, when their case files are low, when they don't have a lot going on, what a lot of them do is pick up cold cases and try to solve them again until they get like a new case on their desk. And what they do is with these cold cases is they lock evidence away until, like, for instance, DNA research gets better over time, like how they find
like they examine a piece of her hair or something.
Yeah, or like
the matted blood,
skin cells or something like that they keep for like 40 years until DNA evidence is like, oh yeah, we can pinpoint exactly who that is from that fucking skin cell that we grafted off her body.
Yeah.
Like a lot of cases from the 70s and early 80s are getting solved in the last 10, 15 years because of DNA evidence.
Not to be gross, but like I said, she was... So there could be a good chance of DNA being found that way.
Yeah. Are we sure about that?
What do you mean? I really don't want to get... I don't
want to say that unless that's been proven. Hold on.
I don't want to say what I think I'm saying behind the
I
science.
I know what you mean, and I'm gonna make sure that that's true before we put that on record. Hold on.
I'm gonna be put on a watch list for searching this.
There's no evidence. There's no evidence of that.
Hang on. We might be thinking of...
So,
Oh, no.
so there's no evidence of, bad word, although SA could not be ruled out. So, while there was
What's
no
SA?
evidence, you know what that means. No, I can't say that on YouTube. Since there was no evidence of it, however, there was one piece of evidence that was like, okay, maybe something did happen to her that way. And I'm not going to say what it is. You can look it up for yourself, because I don't want to get us banned off this platform.
Okay.
But the evidence of the SA is nothing that they could determine now compared to when they could back then. Like, there's nothing advanced now that'd be like, oh, yeah, we can use this piece of equipment now to test this. There's nothing there that they could test or anything.
I don't think I understand what you're... I don't think I know what SA means, Derek.
Blank assault.
Oh, I already said it earlier, though.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to cut it out.
I can't say that?
No.
And I can't say grape?
No, you have to say grape.
What?
Welcome to YouTube.
So I guess when I say SA later, you just put the boop.
You could say SA. You can't say...
No, I know. I'm not going to say it again now, because then it's just more words for you to cut out, but you'll have to put like a bleep through it or something.
Yeah, I'm going to.
Anyways, that's crazy. I've never heard myself be bleeped on something.
I'd rather just not get banned off YouTube. You know,
I've never even... Yeah, well, yeah, but I've never even done that on YouTube. Anyways, I was looking... It's not gross if I say it, I guess, the scientific way. I was thinking about semen samples. Is that a thing?
Yes, there was none of those found.
Okay. All right. Well, that's
But
where I was
there
getting.
was... Okay, so I'll say this without saying what it actually was. There was a particular injury correlating to that.
Gross.
But there was no juice found.
Oh!
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why they can't test it. Do you understand now?
Yeah, gross.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, moving on from that. Yeah, wow, okay. Where was I?
I didn't want to say anything.
No, it's okay.
So, 2016.
2016, glimmer of hope emerged. New DNA evidence surfaced pointing to a potential suspect whose identity had remained hidden for decades. With renewed vigor, Detective Harding reopened the case, determined to bring Ramsey's killer to justice. The investigation led him down a labyrinth path of deception and betrayal as he uncovered long-buried secrets and confronted the demons of Boulder's past. Mm-hmm. And then, in a stunning twist of fate, the truth emerged from the shadows. The DNA evidence led to the arrest and conviction of a former acquaintance of the Ramsey family, a man whose motives had remained hidden for years. As the news broke, the city of Boulder breathed a collective sigh of relief. Justice had been served, and Ramsey could finally rest in peace. But for Detective Harding, the echoes of silence that had haunted him for so long would never truly fade. In the aftermath of the case, he found himself grappling with questions that would never be answered and shadows that would never be fully dispelled. As he stood alone in the snow-covered streets of Boulder, gazing up at the stars twinkling in the night sky, he whispered a silent promise of Ramsey to her memory, that her voice would never be forgotten and that her legacy would endure, a beacon of hope in a shrouded world of darkness. So like I said,
someone got arrested, but it's still a cold case?
It probably wasn't proven. They had nothing to prove. They were like, oh, maybe this guy did it, I guess. I don't know. Hang on.
But didn't you just say that he got imprisoned?
I said he got arrested.
Oh, but they never imprisoned him.
Yeah. So let me see.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, as of December 20th, 2023, it has never been solved. Okay.
Oh, yeah, okay. Here. The U.S. Sun. Pedophile who confessed to killing Ramsey. What's this? What is this?
Okay. So far, I'm inclined to believe that might be who it was, but
Was it a dead end?
that's what I'm trying to hope.
Pedophile who confessed to killing Ramsey had shrine snaps and 335 photos on his phone linked to the beauty queen. A suspect. Oh my god. A suspect in the Ramsey case was found with shrines and 300 images of the slain pageant queen on his phone just 3 years before he confessed. 3 years before he confessed to murdering the girl and disturbing jailhouse letters. Gary Oliva, I don't know how to say.
Oliva.
59, was arrested in Boulder for possession of child X in June 2016, and later issued an indeterminate prison sentence, meaning he will only be released if he passes the state's pedophile treatment program. Oh my god, he's mean mugging the camera. For years, he was on the list of potential suspects. And he was a family friend?
Did they ever, like, try him for it or anything? Or
That's what I'm looking at now, or trying to read.
Because
when he was arrested...
When was this?
This was July of 2023. Like, when the article came out.
Okay, well, they must not have arrested him, because I'm looking at an article from the end of last year, and it's still cold.
When he was arrested in 2016, he was found to have hundreds of images of Benet. According to an affidavit.
Affidavit.
Yeah, that. What does that mean again? Like an anonymous source?
Affidavit. It's a document written up by an investigator.
Okay.
Usually it's asking for a warrant or something.
Okay. For years leading up to his arrest, Oliva was considered a suspect in the still unsolved murder, who was found bound in... Oh, okay. Yep. We already know about this. Yep. Oliva had ties to an address just 13 houses away from the Ramseys at the time and had attended a candlelight vigil held for the girl after her shocking and brutal death. A former classmate of Oliva's, Michael Vale, told the U.S. Sun that he received a phone call from Oliva, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, on the same day that she was found dead, crying through the receiver, "I hurt a little girl." Vale reported the call to the Boulder police the following morning after reading about his murder in the LA Times. However, investigators wouldn't contact him until 2002, after the district attorney's office started looking over the case again with fresh eyes. Oh, this is still ongoing.
Yeah, here, I'll sum. You don't have to keep reading. I'll sum it up for you.
Okay.
After documenting and analyzing the evidence, the cold case team made investigative recommendations to the Boulder Police Department and Boulder District Attorney. Those recommendations are not being made public. So there is something going on currently with this case, but we do not know what it is yet.
Right.
So technically it is still cold. So for all we know, it could be that dude. You know?
Yeah, they're still figuring out if he is the one. Like, even though he says that, it doesn't mean it's true.
Yeah. So, in all, we'll round it off here. We've been yapping about this for a while. In all, me and Trade just thought that we would talk about a case that interested us for a while, and it's something that we thought we had never talked about together. So,
if you can't tell, Derek likes true crime, and I'm okay with it.
I love true crime, and I love cold cases, and I love cases of true crime that had turned the country on its head, like Waco, Ruby Ridge, JonBenet, Casey Anthony, shit like that. I think that stuff is fascinating as hell.
And so now we got another one with this girl who went on vacation for 10 days and left her daughter.
Oh god, we gotta talk about that. We'll talk about that next week. I don't even want to get into that right now.
Yeah.
So anyways, this is more or less. Obviously, we didn't conclude anything. We just kind of spouted facts and talked about it with each other.
If you guys didn't know about this case, you do now, and it's still ongoing. Yeah. It's never been solved, and it's been going on for 3 decades.
Yeah. More or less, this is just a talking point for you guys to talk about it with your friends. You can talk about it with us in the comments, stuff like that. And when eventually they do find out who did this, hopefully soon, we'll come back to it and we will talk about why Derek was wrong or Derek was right, you know? So, in all, I just want to leave you with this. Jean Benet's mom died in 2006 of cancer, and Jean Ramsey, her father, is turning 81 this year. So time's kind of running out for John to tell us some stuff maybe he hasn't said, or maybe he said everything he knows. We don't know. Just saying, there are some things going on that maybe people could look into. In all, thank you for watching. We hope that you would discuss this with your friends or with someone that you like to discuss true crime with. Maybe it's us. Maybe it's just someone that you know in school. Maybe it's a coworker. Who knows? Either way, thank you for watching the Break Room Podcast. You can listen to it audio on Spotify or video on YouTube, obviously. Hello. Trey, how'd you think of the episode? Was it a good episode? I think we had a good time today.
Yeah, it went by really fast.
It went by really fast. We had some laughs.
Spouting out all the information.
Yeah. And next week, by the way, as we round off the episode, we will have a new name. We have finally decided on the new name. Trey has given me a new logo, and all I need him to do is make a new banner for it, and we will present that next Saturday. However, like I said, thank you for watching. We hope you have a great week, and we will see you with that new name next Saturday. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.